Hello everyone, welcome back to James and Flav for now. Sluggy Wuggies, I see you in our live chat right now. And actually, do you know what? Straight off the bat, I got a message from someone on Patreon, and they were talking about a huge World Cup sweepstakes where you get for 4 random teams, and then the amount of points that you get from those teams during the World Cup decides who the winner is. I was thinking that's quite good for us in the Sluggy Wuggies to do.
What? So that you don't just get one team, you just get mass.
Yeah, you get a few, because you know when you like do a sweepstake and you go, "Oh, I've got
fucking Austria
Egypt,
and then you get one that's sort of good but isn't going to win it, like Austria and, but in this instance, Austria and Spain,
Poland, Poland, they'll probably sneak through the group. And am I really supposed to invest myself in this because deep down they're not going to win it?
Yeah.
But yeah, with 4 options, that feels like a good thing for me. Apparently, there's 1,600 odd combinations, so we have room for new Sluggy Wuggies. So if you do have $4 spare, I know inflation is high right now, or whatever it is. So if you don't, obviously don't. But if you want to get involved, we do a mailbag each week, and you could be a part of that and the World Cup sweepstake this year. My sweet Gunners are. Top of the table.
Please, Jim. Please. This is about as ill as I've ever been. I do not want to hear you say that. Just for a week, don't fucking say that. I don't even want to have a conversation about Arsenal at all.
Okay.
We don't have to talk about Spurs either, but just don't make me do that.
Okay. All right.
They're getting very carried away for 2 games, is all I'm saying as well.
Just testing.
Well, what is it? They conceded 2 versus an awful Leicester side, and actually against Palace they could have. I mean, they're quite lucky, really. Second goal was no goal. I don't know. Maybe they're getting carried away. Who knows?
Yeah, porous. Is that the word? I think that's the word I'd use. Just I don't know. 2 goals. Who knows? Look, you're in 4th. You're good. You're fine. Do you know what? So basically, we're doing this podcast just as I've seen that there's all this stuff about Man United getting a new owner. Have you seen that?
No, what's going on?
Yeah, so the guy, I think it's the guy who wanted to buy. That's it, Ratcliffe, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, interested in buying Manchester United.
So this is what's buying out the Glazers.
Yes. So this is the same guy who wanted to buy Chelsea.
I've kind of
do you remember? But do you remember Dan? Oh, I want to say Dan Roan or whoever the BBC guy was. He said, he was like, but you're a Chelsea fan, you're a Man United fan. And he's like, yeah, but
I'm a businessman.
I can't buy, he basically said about, I can't buy Man United. But now,
that is happening. I mean, it looks like but that's a stupid thing to set up to levy at a billionaire. You become a billionaire by thinking, well, I technically support Manchester United, but there is this opportunity with Chelsea. Do you know what? Actually, my allegiances lie with... You're not talking to a 14-year-old boy who's fucking just decided to support Man United. You're talking to a billionaire. I think his priorities are somewhat shifted to what your idea of following a football club is.
But it is. I think it is important on a banter level. It's crucial.
Oh, right.
Because
I'm sure he's bothered about that.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm sure he's not bothered, but like fans will have to... I mean, saying that, I'm a hypocrite because Tony Fernandes is a West Ham fan, but he bought us. So as long as he's bothered, it's fine, isn't it? So he wants to buy a stake in Man United with a long-term view to taking over the club. Fan anger at the ownership of the Glazers has now been in full Chelsea since 2005. Reports from Bloomberg claimed that Glazers would consider selling a minority stake, one of the world's biggest sporting institutions. The club Glazers could sell the club for a mammoth $6 billion. And Elon Musk made a joke, didn't he? Which
that's right. I saw that.
The
thing is, with this is that what to get to a point where he owns the entirety of the football club, or at least a controlling share of the football club, might take a fair amount. I mean, if people think that this guy's coming in and within a month he's going to be the owner, for example, it took Daniel Levy and Enix 6 years from the minute that they bought a sort of smaller share or a minority share, or whatever you want to call it, to the point where they had control of the football club. It took 6 years for them to do that. So unless some is going in and willing to drop a huge amount of money, like perhaps Todd Bowley did.
Yeah, or I guess, or if they're really desperate to go, which I don't think they're desperate.
There's no business sense for them to be desperate to go, would it? That takes away their leverage.
Yeah. So yeah, he launched a last-minute move worth 4.25 billion to buy Chelsea, offering Abramovich, but didn't work out.
Is there a finite amount of money that clubs are going to be worth? Like, how much more? It's not like they're not. Like, every eyeball on the globe who wants to watch the Premier League surely watches it by now. Apart from increasing prices, increasing subscriptions, how much more money are you going to make out of? I have no idea. Maybe my answer is it's a stupid question, but it feels like we must be reaching the top at some stage. And
I think we've said that before, though, and it just never ends, does it? Like hundreds of millions of pounds. That doesn't sound like much anymore. Do you know what I heard? What's his face? Simon Jordan saying about the Premier League and in terms of the rights and not sort of taking the rights from a Sky or whoever, but instead creating their own platform and charging people $10 a month and letting 100 million people do that, and the billions and billions that would kind of bring in.
Like Netflix for football, that was probably it.
That was it. I think that's what he said. Yeah,
but that would mean getting rid of. Wouldn't that mean getting rid of or severing relationship with Sky, unless Sky are the ones that produce it?
And I'm just starting to get somewhere. So that would be heartbreaking, if I'm honest.
James, do you not think they'll have shows on Netflix?
That's it.
And do you not think the people that are completely and do not answer this, but I'm just going to say it. Do you not think the people that are completely entrenched in Sky, they're going to find it very difficult to move to a new platform because the relationships they're too entrenched? It's like Insidious over there. Not Insidious.
Are you saying maybe time for new blood? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying that look at this as an opportunity, not a.
Okay. Well, let's see. I think the important thing from this article, and the thing that caught my eye, is bowels. A simple trick to empty them completely. That's you've got a click from me. Diet expert reveals it's like it vacuums out your digestive problems. Exciting time.
Nice.
Is this from gutsolution.com? It is from Gut Solution. Gut news.
Yeah.
A bit of gut chat early on.
It's been a time since I've been on gutsolution.com.
Yeah. Obviously, guys, you'll all know about gutsolution.com. They blog regularly on gut problems. But millions of Britons struggle. Millions of Britons. Specific. Interesting. Is this exclusively a British gut website?
Jim, you strike me as a man who...
Gut chat. Everyone ready for gut chat? What's the signal for gut chat?
I don't know. I haven't got that much in me. I just want to... you strike me as a man who would have a colonic. Just you go there.
I'm very wary of that stuff.
Bung loads of coffee up your ass and just wait.
Yeah, do you know?
Then come out and go. I do feel surprisingly refreshed.
Well, so there's a thing on TikTok. There was a trend on TikTok for sort of. I'm sure there's an article on gutsolution.com about it, because millions of Britons struggle with digestive problems like bloating, constipation, cramping, pains, and fatigue that causes due to the digestive process. But on TikTok, there was this thing where you get a pint of water, you put in like 2 big tablespoons or something like that of chia seeds, and leave it for 10 minutes, and then you put in like half a lemon, just I guess for the taste of it, and then you down that, and apparently
seen that on
cleans you right up. Cleans you right up.
Can I? It might be that we could get a sponsor for this, but just while we're doing this shit. In terms of giving you energy, this stuff, space goods.
Okay.
Sort of
giving you energy.
It just gives you sustained energy for the day. Considering if you don't take it, I really do feel the difference. I'd recommend it.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it? It's like a supplement?
Yes, it's based on mushroom extract. Not magic mushrooms. It's like many mushrooms. There are like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of different variations of mushrooms. Right. Not just magic mushrooms.
How did it catch your eye initially? It
was literally a TikTok.
Okay, fair enough. And it does the business, does it? Well, you can feel the difference, can you?
Yeah, Ollie swears by it.
We've got some good stuff on the pod today. We're going to be talking about the draw table. We could touch. I feel like I've spoken about Man United a lot this week, so I'm kind of. But it is Red Monday, isn't it? All the redness all the time.
I mean,
on
there's
Monday
absolutely
night.
no chance that Man United win that game.
He's called it. Clip it up.
I mean, it's not even worth clipping. It's not a bold statement, is it?
Let it pass. Yeah. Hugh Woozencroft said to me on ESPN, I said, what percentage chance of Man United got in this game? He said 5%.
Yeah, I'd say
Fair?
I agree. Yeah, because even when Liverpool were drawing against Palace and down to 10 men, like it was like they had 11 men, and the fact they played with such poise and determination.
Gusto.
Yeah, but also just quality.
Yeah,
but he's it means that there's I know they've drawn 2 games, but it doesn't mean nothing. Like Liverpool are absolutely fine.
Well, I mean that's chance of silverware this year. We'll get onto that. We've got lots of things that have tickled me for the Jim Big Laugh Award.
Are we going to talk about Nunes?
Yeah, let's talk about that. And I just want to tell people what we got. We've got some fan fiction at the end of the at the end of the podcast.
It's not erotic fan fiction, is it?
You can decide at the end. If it's, I'm not sure. It's interesting you ask if it's erotic or not.
Fan fiction tends to be lean that way, doesn't it?
I would say it's leaning that way. I would say it's subjective of if it's erotic or not.
No, it's not. The person who's written, the people that listen to this podcast are not animals, are they? It will be subtle at most, and that's all you need.
Okay. A couple of slugs in the wild, including a video which I think I'll show you just to whenever, because Flav's not feeling well at the moment. So one, hit the like button for him, but secondly, when he needs that little lift, we can provide it with that video, I think. So just let me know when you need that. That's the slugs in the wild. Things Dad say at the football. Got a few of them. A few of the things that go through me. A new bit possibly of dreaming of Conte. Don't think it will last. And we'll have a look at the drawing board. We'll go back to the drawing board and deep dive. Someone's put together a spreadsheet on who the draw champions have been over the last of every Premier League season, I think it is. So we'll have a look at that as well. I might click on it now just to get it ready. So yeah, Nunez, yeah. Oh, and Samism as well. Lots and lots and lots. How do you? I imagine you've seen the Anderson bit. Have you seen all that? Seen him winding him up? Where do you sit on this?
I think he was doing what every other centre back in the history of the Premier League has ever done. It's made a big thing because Nunez got sent off in his debut. He couldn't control himself. The difference between, like you see it all the time. Like you saw what Romero did against Chelsea. Like that's what Romero has done since he's joined the Premier League. It's nothing. It's not a big deal. And he couldn't keep his head. And this is the lesson. It's better to foul fast, isn't it? Learn quickly, foul fast. He's got to get used to that. I remember watching Dennis Wise literally drag his nails down the neck of his opponents at corners and shit like that. It's like
he was renowned for Dennis Wise was renowned for the little pinch. He'd sort of go there, like hold the back of your head, and then pinch some hair away.
Yeah,
what horrible man!
I know it's disgusting, but at that level, Anderson probably isn't a defender that, in terms of complete, I don't know how you would gauge it, but if you're thinking like Van Dijk versus a striker of equal skill, like Ronaldo, Van Dijk, they don't really need to do. You don't have to use the dark arts in order to gain a level playing field. But you would imagine the money that Nunez has come in and Anderson plays as a centre back for Palace, that Anderson has to use every skill that he has, whether nefarious or otherwise, to gain an advantage, and that's the reason why he's a Premier League defender. This shouldn't be. I'd imagine some Liverpool fans really hate him now, having not really given him second thought beforehand. But really, they should be looking at their own strike and thinking, well, you need to be much more mature than that. You need to be able to deal with that because the way you reacted was pretty pathetic. Yeah,
I mean, so what I would say, I totally get him doing it. It is part of football. You got to get on with it.
If he hadn't put the nut on him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Not even thought about it. But because he couldn't control himself.
I'm not sure I could control myself. That's the one thing. That's why I think I'd struggle because
how many defenders, how many strikers have been sent off against Anderson? When was the last
Due
time
to
you
this,
used?
what? Due to a similar thing? Yeah, I guess no.
Never. But it was the fact that Nunes couldn't handle it. That was the problem.
Do we know he's doing it to every single opponent every single week? That's what I'd like to know.
Okay, in which case then you got to look at if he knew he could do it to Nunes, what's wrong with his temperament? The problem isn't Anderson here. The problem is Nunes, right? And he needs to fix it.
Flav's problem with Darwin Nunes feels like a title.
Do you think the Klopp isn't looking at Nunes going, you have to deal with this?
Yeah. No, I get that. He'll have to learn to switch off. All I'm saying is, I imagine it is very irritating. Watching that clip, I was like, God, this must be
wild. I want to bite his nose off.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
I'm not being paid $200,000 a week to play for Liverpool. I can deal with it in that.
Don't do that. Don't do the money thing.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
You're allowed 3 of those a season. The money thing, using the money as a reason. 3 a season. That is one of them. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
I asked yesterday for a title, and but wrong answers only. I hope this could be a bit, because I think this could be funny for us.
Okay.
Hang on, what's the sound? What's that sound you're hearing? Oh, and also, actually, I'll talk about it later, but basically the pod's back on Spotify, guys. Hurrah!
I was actually about to say to you, on 2 occasions I attempted to call you to say, send me the file, I'll 100% do it.
It's all right, I've got someone else to do it.
I didn't actually get to the point where I made the call, but it was in my brain.
So that's how lazy we are. I'm paying someone else to put it up. I said, Kai, this will take you 20 seconds. Just copy and paste everything. But me and Flav, we just haven't got it in us. We haven't got it in. We're losing the hunger. We're losing
bizarre, isn't it?
Just didn't have it in us, did they? Amazing, isn't it? There's a good bit. What's something that is so easy and you could easily do it? You just haven't got it in you. I think one for me, I think I'm realizing is so TikTok content, football content. Like, I want to have a TikTok page. I want it to do well, and I want stuff to get clipped up. But me doing it myself, I can't. Although as easy as that probably could be, and the amount of content that we make, I just don't think I've got it in me. But I'd love to know what little things you just can't do.
The amount of it's not easy to get to the TikTok was. I completely understand why you wouldn't want to bring that into your working week. It's a lot of work for what is essentially no financial return at all. But TikTok's brilliant for raising awareness about your product. For sure.
Oh yeah.
But introducing people to.
But I don't think it is that hard. But I just like as a to try and explain a possible new bit. What's something that's so minimal but you just can't do it? I'm sure there's something. I just can't think of it right now. But so any in the chat, let us know. As I say, our patrons are live with us right now. You could be one of them if you want to become a patron. So wrong answers only for titles this week. Arteta versus Pep, the Premier League's Karate Kid. Don't really get it, if I'm honest. Liverpool versus United in a relegation 6-pointer. Is that true? Hang on a minute. Yep, Liverpool just 2 points from the drop. Man United rock bottom. It is a 6-pointer, isn't it? It's a relegation. Liverpool, is that the title today? Liverpool versus Man United in relegation 6 points.
We had Boovy on the show I did the week, and he was saying that he thinks that.
Tell them what the show is so they can go watch it.
No, because we're not.
Well, it's a Bet Victor show. Just search Bet Victor after this and go watch it.
Bet Victor, last fan standing. He said that he thinks that Manchester United will lose the next 7 games. And you look at it. I had to check it up.
Really?
But their fixtures.
Let's have a look.
It's.
Do you know what I just did there? I could have. When you click on a tab and I'm going to change the website. I had the choice of the Sir Jim Radcliffe thing or the gutsolution.com, and I hovered over gutsolution.com and I went, no, I'm going to leave that there. Come back to that. Man United fixtures. Let's have a look. You honestly think they could lose the next 7?
This is what Boovy said. I'm not saying I believe him. I don't think they will, but you look at it and go, it could happen.
No easy games in the Premier League. So look, Man United could lose the next 7. Liverpool, sorry. Release the first 7 of the season, so they've lost 2 already. Okay, so they've lost 2 already. Liverpool, Southampton away. Another relegation 6-pointer, quite possibly. Leicester City, look, those two, they can't be losing both of those.
Right, but they lose to Southampton, then Ten Hag's got to go in it.
I mean, great question. How many games has he got?
I think if he loses the first 7, they have to sack him.
If he loses the first 7,
the Frank de Boer got lost the first. Was it 6 or 7?
Do you think there'll be a weekend this season where one of us doesn't tweet? He's got to go, isn't he?
Well, he's got to go.
We're
not saying it's not just content. It's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
3 games, 4 games at United.
He's got 5 losses, says Archie. De Boer had 4, didn't he? Harvey Finch feels he's got 9 in a row.
If Liverpool beat him, all right, okay, we'll do this. All right, so what score must Liverpool? If Liverpool beat them 5-0, then you've got to ask questions about Ten Hag. If he gets to 9 or 10, then it's freak, as we agreed last year. If he loses 10-0,
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is great. Yeah, you're right. So there's a sort of a band, isn't there? There's a band where it's like, this is a disgrace, and then there's like, this is bizarre. It's
called the Hasenhüttl band. It's where people just disregard it as just a freak result because it's so big.
Yeah.
The Hasenhüttl band is basically when Ten Hag, if Ten Hag was to lose 4-0 or 5-0 against Liverpool, that would be worse than losing 9.
Yeah.
Because 9's a freak, whereas 4 or 5 shows a systemic failure.
Is
tactic.
In terms of that band, so 9 is bang on the money, isn't it? 9.
Yeah, when 9, it's as if the game didn't happen.
Does he need a sending off? Does there need to be a sending off?
I think that helps.
Yeah. Do you come back out of the tunnel? Do you know what I mean? Like, if it gets to 12, is 12 worse than 6?
12's a lot. No, 12's better than 6 now.
12's better. 12's better because it's still within that sort of that freak.
Yeah, because it's just because madness. No one looks at what went wrong. Everyone just laughs. So you get the sort of buy, don't you? It's just crazy. So yeah, what Man United even need a draw or to lose something like 9 or 10-0.
Right, to be safe. Yeah.
If
1-0 defeat they take, or Eric Ten Hag, if you tell him, put him out to a lie detector, okay? We'll give you a 1-0. We'll give you a 1-0 defeat. Now,
progress, isn't it?
Take it. So lose to Liverpool. I mean, yeah, how many has he got? I think thing is as well. There's with Man United, because you've got we're living in this sort of content world. You've got to say something new, and Gary Neville's kind of the new thing that Gary Neville's saying is that I haven't got anything more to say because he's run out of things. Because you've kind of gone players, owner, manager goes, players, owner, manager goes.
I think what is clear when talking to Gary Neville, when talking to him, I haven't had a one-to-one conversation with him, but
you are friends.
I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him other than on camera.
Do you think there's anyone from the overlap who has got either the personality or the relationship with Gary Neville to suggest that he's friends with Gary?
No, but Adam McCullough and Gary Neville have conversations. So they know each other. They know each other by first name and stuff. Okay. It's clear that Gary Neville's way too close to Manchester United and he can't actually see what's going on. And he still thinks that Manchester United are the club that he played for when they're definitely not.
Tell him next overlap, please. I would love to see that. I'd love to see you go, Gary. You're a bit too close to the club.
But what happens, what I've noticed, whenever you do criticise one of them, they just go, well, you're a Spurs fan. What did you know? You've never won anything. That's what happens.
Okay.
Jamie Coger does that a lot. So what am I here for then? Should I say anything or not say anything?
Well, you need to. So what we need to do here over the next few weeks before the next overlap is to put together something that's bulletproof in your. Because what you do, you will have that moment you will have that sacred period of 20 seconds that's yours, or even in what you initially say, you need to give yourself that buffer, right? So you need to kind of go, look, guys. Now I know I'm just a Spurs fan, but hear me out. And then you're given, will that give you the safety before? Because you know it's like in all of these debates where someone's going, they're just desperate to jump in.
The one in this one, it wasn't even that. I wasn't like, so you're asked to chime in and jump onto conversations. It's not like a wait for your turn to speak, but naturally, because it's like quite a intimidating circumstance. Most people don't. They just sit quiet. but I've been on there like 4 or 5 times now, so I feel more comfortable than most people, I'd imagine. But the first one was like, yeah, Gary could just sort of turn to me, when would you know you're a Spurs fan, you're not won anything? I was like, you asked me to do something, I'll do it, and now you're jumping on me. It's fine, but it's like, it's just I've found, because Spurs seem to be rattling a lot of cages at the moment, that from all angles we're just hated. Like it's
interesting.
Like the Chelsea and Arsenal loving is sickening. It's like they don't even have a thing with each other anymore. The only mutual connection between the club isn't the rivalry; it's just fucking bumming off their hatred of Spurs. You allowed to say bumming? I'm not sure.
As long as of course you can. Bumming off, but bumming off sounds sort of like self pleasure somehow. You're right. Where are you going? I'm just gonna do some.
Would you rate Tottenham? Off. Yeah. Who do you support? Arsenal. Who do you support? Chelsea. Do you rate Tottenham? Yeah. Come here.
Yeah. Fancy bumming off together.
Do you fancy a bum?
Bumming. No, but bumming. I feel like bumming off. You're bumming yourself with something.
I just think it's amazing now that a club that everyone just cannot stop reminding that we don't win anything, just rattles so many cages.
Doesn't it? It's amazing, isn't it?
I'm saying, look, I agree, we don't win anything. Why are you so bothered?
Yeah, that is good.
Why is it that every time we sign a player, you have to remind us that we haven't won a trophy? It's like you're much more bothered about this than we are.
Do you know what it is? There's a weakness in the jumping to it, isn't there? Because it's there, isn't it? It's in the ether. Just let it be in the ether.
You're not educating us. I'm acutely aware of how many trophies we've won through the decades. Like the last two, you're not educating me. What's becoming very clear to me is how bothered you are by us. You crack on. I'm not coming to you. I'm not asking you. I don't even know who you are. You're tweeting me. You're tweeting me and telling me, but that Spurs haven't won anything. Before that, I didn't even know that you existed. But sure. You're telling me to is you're worried. Just everyone seems to be. Here's a question for the comments, and this is a genuine question, right? Is what is it? Given that Spurs don't win anything, why are you so concerned with us? Why are you spend so much of your time thinking about us when we don't win anything? Just let us know in the comments below. Genuine question. I'm not winding. I'm not on a wind up here. I just want to know why you're so bothered about us if we don't win anything.
Speaking of important.
Why do we live in your head so much? Is all I'm asking.
Yeah,
because I might help you, feel better about it all.
Speaking of big important questions, and what I was Stoker Pop said, great question, Josh, which made me sort of move my eyes up to Josh Rogers. That's Josh Rogers' questions. Would you self bum if you could self bum?
Fuck yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you if you could?
Everyone's
walking around not self-bumming if they absolutely can. Do me a favour.
I've got to be honest, I'm just a bit tentative there. I'd be wary of sort of self-bumming. I'd have to watch some how-to videos.
It's your own cock. What are you worried about?
Oh, it's got to be your own cock?
Yeah, so aren't you like pushing your cock round up your own arse like that?
That's impressive.
Shove it. It's thumbing your own cock up your ass is what we're talking about. Yeah? If you could, you would.
Oh, right. Is that what I didn't know?
Everyone at 14 tried to give themselves a blowjob and realised they're never getting anywhere near it.
Oh, I thought you were using a tool to self-bum.
Come on.
Stoker Pop says easy yourself in, Jim. You'll be fine. Okay. I'll look into it.
Just got to relax.
Yeah. Interesting. Sure. Actually, I want to read this comment out first because I saw it and I thought, wow. I just thought, wow. Is this it? No.
God, that's so long.
I know.
What's that?
I bloody know. Where is it? Emma. A story for Jaffin. I'm not sure if Flav will remember me, but about 6 years ago, I started listening to the Fighting Cock podcast while at work, as my partner is a Tottenham fan. I'm a Leeds fan, and had tweeted about listening to them a couple of times to the point that they told me to just become a Spurs fan. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember. Okay. Yeah, I do.
Anyway, me and my partner had a baby 6 weeks ago. Congratulations.
Good. Well done.
16 hours of labour. Very traumatic delivery. Sorry to hear that, Emma. I hope you're okay. Congratulations.
She's timing now. If she wasn't okay, do you think she'd be tweeting fucking Jaffin? Of course she didn't be. She's fine.
I don't know.
She's fine.
Yeah. After 15 hours, doctors decided we needed to go to theatre to help move the baby's head into the correct position for me to continue pushing. I'm in a world of pain as the epidural has stopped working. For those of you who don't know, an epidural is a injection into the back, which can help with the pain. What does my partner bend over and excitedly whisper to me as I'm being wheeled to theatre? We've signed Richarlison. Amazing story.
Good work.
We've signed Richarlison. When has he had the chance to look at that? That's the thing.
You know that little cheeky on the phone, isn't it? She's like, holding around. That, after 15 hours of hand holding, going breathe, you can have a little look.
When Fan was in labour, bless her, she'd been pushing for quite some time, and I sort of I was sort of look every time like looking after her, and then sort of in the breaks in between, I sort of looked to the right, and something a bag of dates caught my eye, and I was thinking, oh, God, you wouldn't mind a date. And then so like after about 3 or 4 contractions, when she was sort of recovering, I just sort of went, she's going to go over. Quickly got herself a date and had a little snack.
Would she allow you to have a date? What's going on?
Well, I just, should really be focusing on her. Anyway, that was great. That was.
You know what's great? You know how she knows she's not lying about the baby. Not that it'd be weird if she was, but that was posted at 4:45 a.m.
Yeah, good spot. Very good spot.
Well done there, Mark. Congratulations on the birth of your child. I'm presuming he's going to be a Spurs fan as opposed to a Leeds fan.
Pressure's on. Yeah.
And I also presume that you named him Gary.
Yes, after my dad.
And me.
Oh, yeah. Other good wrong titles for this week's pod was Liverpool Road to the Invincibles, #Drawgate. I'll show you that in a minute. Where was it? But the one that made me laugh, and it was so good. Oh, this is a good title. I might do this at some point. What is Flav wearing? Why is it see-through? It's good.
What does that mean?
I just think it's a good title. Good to see men playing men with Darwin Hedberg in the thumbnail. Did you see Graham seeing this? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, did we speak about in the mailbag? We chatted about that in the mailbag, didn't we?
A bit of it, yeah.
Jim's Gunners continued title charge. Could be, maybe. But the one that made me laugh, honestly, I was in bits laughing at this for ages and ages. I'll just scroll down because I think it was late and I was tired. I'd been up since 5 a.m. Wrong, and obviously asked for wrong answers only. Was this from Stuart? She said, "Wibble, wibble, wibble."
What's that mean?
I don't know.
I like it.
Wibble, wibble, wibble. It just caught me off guard. You know, things catch you off guard. I just thought, that's great. What a great title. Other things that made me laugh and options for the big Jim Big Laugh Award. Harley said this in the comments last week. Question for everyone. Have you ever seen a tall ref? I've been to hundreds of football matches. They've all been short. It does seem to be a thing, does it?
But if you're tall, you don't become a referee, do you? You have too much going for you.
Oh,
harsh.
Harsh.
You're a special breed to become a referee, haven't you?
There's been tall refs, haven't there? Oh, what's his name? The one who sent off Beckham.
What, Colleen? Is it Kalina?
Kim, wasn't it Kim? I want to say Kim Nielsen or something. There's one.
I know
they are small generally. Who's your favourite ref? The Chelsea thing, I know we've spoken about this before, but often, mate, the amount of times when I do like a match reaction, I don't really like talking about the refs anyway, but the amount of times over a season people go, are you not going to talk about the quite clearly corrupt Anthony Taylor? Corrupt. Stop using the word corrupt with refs. They don't give a fuck about you. They're just refereeing the game.
You sound like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Genuinely, you sound like an idiot. It's like it's a fix. There's a fix. Like you can't deal with your team losing without spouting out start reverting back to a child. Oh, the world's against us. Oh, that wasn't a handball. The Arsenal fans were the worst for it after the. I mean, if you watch those compilations, those watch-alongs, that's why I'm never in the world ever doing a watch-along. And if I happen to be on the kickoff, I'm not going to react at all because I don't want to end up on one of those fucking watch-along compilations. But all of them were going, it's corrupt. It's corrupt. It's not corrupt. They don't give a shit about your football club. They're just doing it.
They're just cracking on. Yeah.
They're just doing their job.
Well,
That's all
clearly
they're doing.
their agenda and corrupt are just like woeful. It's woeful football
You
chat.
sound like an idiot.
Yeah, there's one for the comments next week. What is just woeful football chat?
Terrible football takes, that kind of thing.
Terrible. Yeah.
Terrible takes.
Corrupt. Saying Anthony Taylor is corrupt.
Yeah, is a terrible. It's not only. It just fills me full of a slight disdain for you.
Yeah.
Not that matters, but that's how I feel. You make me feel a bit sick when you say it.
So this leads on perfectly to things that go through me. But so people do that. Honestly, it does go through me, and it makes me want to go. Are you all right? I want to go. Are you all right? You honestly think there's this like fucking like it's like Wizard of Oz? This like bloke stroking a cat going. Has someone told Anthony to not give the because we know that Romero is going to go up for a corner and pull Cucurella's hair, right? We know this, right? Make sure no one does anything in VAR. Like, what are you on about?
Just on that, right? It's madness. It's madness that wasn't a foul given to Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Right. So look, I'm coming from a position with we've scored that, and I'm like, that's crazy. There's no world should we have been allowed to score that goal, right? But this is the reasoning for it, right? The ref, the reason why the VAR couldn't bring it back, this has nothing to do with VAR. Because the only reason the VAR can get the ref to look at something if it's a blatant red card. You're not going to get there's nothing in the rule book to say that hair pulling is violent conduct.
Right.
It exists in rugby, because obviously I've been reading a lot about this over the last week. In rugby, it exists. In football, it doesn't. Yeah, and so it wasn't a red card, so VAR couldn't pull it back. They had to check that, and once they agreed that it wasn't a red card, the corner had to be given.
Yeah.
Ball come over, Kane scores, rest is history. It's not a conspiracy, it's just the rules.
Luke Ball says, have you seen the Mark Halsey quote? Could you just copy and paste whatever the Mark Halsey quote is? I'll read it out. I'm intrigued to know what that is. But Josh says, imagine risking your entire career to make sure Spurs get 1 point against Chelsea. And also to get 1 point before the corner, which could have been defended, couldn't it? Like the ball comes in, Koulibaly heads it away. That's the end of it, isn't it?
Great corner. Anyway. That was the other thing, is that just to go back to something that Boovy said on the Last Man Standing, is you know what Boovy is,
good value,
right?
isn't he? Great value.
Mate, he's amazing. He's incredible. But he said he just comes out with stuff and he literally does not give a shit. I think he doesn't, and I love it, and I'm all for it, and I do it myself. But he says Perisic came on. Perisic was ineffective, and Kane isn't he shouldn't be missing chances. Perisic literally crossed for Kane to score that equaliser.
Yeah, which is
I did say this to him, but it was like I might as well not have said it. It was amazing.
That's class. Yeah, the thing with Boovy as well, once he said it, he's sort of like, I've made my decision. It's kind of like there's no like the door's locked, isn't it? It's like this, like when someone shuts up their shop. He's just gone. Yeah. No.
But the other thing is that he's at the top of the tree. He's a Man City fan. He can't. No, there's no footballing conversation that can harm him. You can't get him, right?
Yeah.
And he's been the shit about him being money laundering and him blowing a glory hunter. He's heard it a million times.
Yeah, true. Just run through these things that go through me quickly. M said, things that go through me, goalkeepers unnecessarily punching a straightforward cross under no pressure. Lloris and Pickford are worst culprits for it. Yeah, don't like it. It's just, and by the way, with this, it's not just things you don't like. It's things that kind of make your stomach go. LM says, football moments that go through you. Hearing the opposition crowd roar after winning a corner in the last 10 minutes. Even though 1 in 50 corners go in, it just feels impossible that they won't score at that exact point. The sort of, the dull down the other end, we're quiet this end. There is a dread in that. Danny Cox, my moment that makes you clench your cheeks at football. Anytime your team does something weird with a penalty, e.g. the main penalty taker giving it to a different player or having it taken, someone sort of quick, or if two players argue over who's going to take the penalty, you just feel like it's destined to like miss that penalty, right?
Definitely,
yeah. Dreaming of Conte. I just saw this quote. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Juan Chai, he said, Flav. Sorry, this is a bit of a quote of the week. So what part of Conte would you take? So we're talking about the the perfect manager or the Frankenstein's manager. His tactics, and I said, his eyes. Hang on, I forgot why I put this here. Forget it. I think I was to get into the point of like, have you ever had a dream about Conte? And if you had a dream about Conte, would it be enjoyable or would it be a nightmare?
Scary.
Yeah, I think that's where I was going.
We've done a lot of sort of mental, we've done a lot of fantasizing on the Fighting Cock podcast, not sexual, although obviously naturally it always seems to go that way. But
yeah.
It would be an aggressive and quite strict experience, I'd imagine. But then again, generally people in powerful positions are generally submissive in the bedroom. What are they going to get out of having more of the same in the bedroom?
Is that true?
I think so. People of high power generally like to be submissive. That's why all the rich bankers end up getting things shoved up their arse in dungeons in the city by dominatrixes.
Is that not just a case of like, there's just so many options in my life, I want the most perverse one? That's what I thought it was.
I think in sex, you would. I mean, I don't know. Like all the men into the men that are into sort of sadomasochism, I can't imagine are downtrodden in real life. They don't want more of the same.
Right? Yeah. It's a bit like what was it like? The disco era came out of like real hardship and a lack of money because people were like, "I'll have that all through the week." The last thing I want at the weekend, I want something a bit lively, so we're gonna enjoy disco. So you think that, yeah?
But do you think like a bloke who is like a school janitor, who has to pick fucking chewing gum off the bottom of tables and chairs, then goes at the weekend to get beat up by a woman for his sexual kinks? I don't think.
Yeah, he needs empowerment, doesn't he? He doesn't need.
He needs to escape from his life, not have more of it.
Right.
I might be wrong though. Maybe
that does make sense.
Binary about this.
So let's do the little slugs in the wild. Let's do slugs in the wild. This is great.
Can I just go? Can you just scroll up just for a second?
I was going to leave this. I was going to let this pass.
It's so funny you say that because I used to work for a youth charity.
So I was going to let it go because you're not well. I thought this isn't.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Absolutely fine. I did do that for 12 years.
Isn't that interesting? So Mars Lammer, new to this podcast, but Flav gives himself such strong, cool manager at youth charity vibes, and that was the case, was it?
Yeah. He must know. He must know because he's Googled me or something like that. You can find this information out. That's too close to. I mean, the cool manager bit is obviously he's just being silly, but the fact that he somehow knows about the aura of someone who works in a youth charity, and now has then applied that to me based on a podcast he's watching talk about football.
You call him bullshit?
I'm saying he's Googled it. He must.
You think he's Googled it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, do you think I give off those vibes? What? Hey, kids, everyone cool today?
I don't know. Not really. You know what honest.
The fact he says youth charity. No one says that. Youth club. I'd get it, but the fact he says youth charity, and that's what I work for, a youth media charity.
I think the fact that you sort of your name is a nickname as well. I think that works with it, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I was going to let that go, but bless you. So slugs in the wild. For those of you who don't know, if there was one a couple of weeks ago, I got sent a video, and it was a guy who worked at Greg's, and he filmed himself. So what we want is people filming themselves, talking to people that don't understand the Japanese, and using it. And he did. He was funny, and he was like, "Oh, Jaffin's back this weekend," and you can hear the woman going, "What?" And he goes, like, moist slugs in that. It was great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we want more of these because they're so good, and I'm so excited to show you this one. But first of all, there's one that's just a comment one. So this is from Paul Reese, and he sent me a screenshot. He failed. He flailed? Yeah, we could either. So he said, Callum went, excited for the JLA episode. This is it. So this is him messaging some guy. Failed slugs in the wild encounter with my friend. Previously unaware he watched your videos. Hence I asked him if he's a moist slug. Devastated to say the least. So yeah, so he said he likes, he says he's, Callum, if you're watching this, 2-week ban because apparently I'm a good YouTuber. Okay, but then you don't know what a moist slug is. So shame on you. Shame on you.
What? You said it was a video.
Yes, you're gonna love this. You're gonna absolutely bloody love this. I'd be mates with Tails. Tails is an absolute legend.
Should go for dinner.
Right. I'm so excited.
I already know I'm going to love this.
You are going to love, mate. He's got the little glint in his eye. I love this guy, and I love that he's doing it without a top on. I love everything about it.
We'll break it down afterwards.
Okay, here we go. Enjoy.
Tell you where we should go for dinner. Yeah. You've been Fleet Services before. You ever been to Fleet Services? Yeah, we got to go there quite a bit. It's quite nice there. Think of all the sluggy wuggies that'll be there, though. Pardon? All the slugs? Dry, moist, everything. Shit on the blokes there, if the number 500 there.
Man, I missed that. Go on.
Dry, moist, everything. There'll be shitloads of blokes there, if the number 500's there.
His face.
There's a little giggle at the end.
So good.
Yes, mate. That is amazing.
And he sent this last little bit. It's a shame because oh, he didn't catch the last bit. He went finished too early, and she said, "I'm getting sick of your shit." Oh, so good.
Amazing.
Really good. More plays from Tails. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
keep more of those.
Love it, love it.
Good work, mate. I love that. That made me feel so much better.
I knew you needed that. I knew you bloody needed that.
I needed that.
So more slugs in the wild. It's hilarious. Amazing. Things Dad say at the football. Quite a few of these. Harvey Finch. Things Dad. This is the number one comment from the weekend, from last week's pod. 305 likes. Make sure you like the comments that you find funny, please. Makes my life a lot easier. Harvey Finch, things Dad said at the football. Who's that new bloke we've signed? Despite him playing regular football for 3 years now. There's 14 replies on it. This seems like quite a common thing that dads do, but somebody's been knocking around the squad for about 3 years. And who's this new fella we're playing?
Who's that?
Yeah. Tom Thornton said, and it's almost certainly someone whose name for an English speaker is harder to pronounce. So they spent the last 3 years avoiding talking about them. On the same vein, Robbie Holmes said, on the dads pronouncing footballers' names wrong, my girlfriend's dad has always got City players' names wrong. Here's a few of my favourite examples. So Caballero, Calabro, Iheanacho, Itchy Nacho. Itchy Nacho. Gundogan, Gundoggy. De Bruyne, The Bruner. Pantimilimon. No, I can't say it. Pantimon. Pantimillion. And Jekko, just call him Deco.
My dad does the same thing, but he just doesn't. That at least those are words, right? Makes a noise. Kulusevski, you should hear it. I mean, I'm not much better, but I'm better than my dad.
What does he say for Kulusevski?
He just goes Kulusevski. I don't know. And he always finishes. I don't know what his name is. You try, Dad. If you tried, you'd work it out and you'd be able to do it.
On the same vein, Load Pack 98, dads at football, hating any player that has a top knot. Also confusing players' names. For no apparent reason, my dad, who's a Forest fan, calls Brennan Johnson Rodgers. I can only assume it's because they are both relatively common surnames. Was there Brendan Rodgers, maybe? He also regularly asks if former players are still at the club. Last week, he asked if Lee Camp still plays for us. He left in 2013. That is true. And Diabetes 98. Things Dad said at the football. Get rid of it. So true, that, isn't it? Get rid of it.
Oh, God. My dad, so obviously Spurs played Chelsea. Every single time we're watching football, and we've talked about this before, I'm pretty sure we talked about it on the pod.
Is it great that he's living near you now? You watch all the games together? Or do you watch?
Yeah, no, yeah. The end of last season, we watched all the games. This season, I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
But because at the Chelsea game I was coming back from a wedding, but so he's the thing he does, like, get rid of it. If you're passing it around the back, just play it long, just hit it long. Like, it's not working, just hit it long. It's hit it long, like, and having to explain every time that actually percentage-wise, it's much better to play out from the back, even if it is quite difficult to watch at times. It is better, right? We've had this conversation. So he rings me up to chat about the game result, just 1-2, and I knew it was coming because they pressed us brilliantly. Like, they made it so difficult for us to play. They were really, really good. And I was like, Jesse's going to say it. Here it comes. Why didn't we just fucking hit it? Well, just try it. Try it once. Just hit it long.
Yeah. My dad said that the weekend.
And what if it works, Dad? What if it works once or twice? Do we abandon the tactic completely?
See, that's the problem.
We do that from now?
Yeah.
And then when it stops working, then what do you want?
And on the one occasion that they just sort of clear it and the forward gets a header and he goes, see? See?
Yeah. All right, so should we abandon this completely? Because Jose Mourinho didn't play like that, and look what happened.
Do you know what, though? I don't mind a bit of variety. So the odd time mixing it up, especially when we've got Lyndon Dykes up there. Maybe use him once in a while. That's his skill. Right, the drawing board. It's time to go to the drawing board. So we've spoke about this first week of the pod. I talked about Lampard. How many draws can he get away with? And now we've decided we want to see who will get the most draws throughout the season. And Fulham, it's just Fulham and Liverpool hanging in there in terms of the perfect season. And Joel Tucker said this, I thought this was interesting, because what if it gets to this? So everyone needs to be rooting really for a Liverpool draw and a Fulham draw at the weekend, just to keep the run going. Joel Tucker said 38 draws. Imagine the scenes on final day as your team gets a last-minute penalty, with the score tied at 1-1. As the captain picks up the ball, a chorus of boos rings around the ground, which quickly turns into yet another rendition of the now famous chant, "We draw every week, we draw every week. Where's our gold trophy? We draw every week." As he steps up to take the penalty, the tension is palpable. The crowd holds its breath. On the touchline, the camera stalks the manager, who at the last second offers a knowing wink. The captain takes 4 strides back, sprints towards the ball and blasts the ball towards the corner. A pandemonium erupts. You would celebrate it, wouldn't you? Get to the final game. I don't see it happening, but so this is from Youchef is his Twitter name. I think his name. Oh God, I forgot it now. I think it's Josh, maybe. Oh God, hang on, let me just find it quickly. Where is he? Jay Clemson. I asked his name. Joe Clemson. There you go. So here, have a look at this, Flav. Quite interesting, quite insightful. So these are, since 92-93, this is the number of draws and the champion of the draw league, but also the position that they finished in the Premier League.
16 draws in a season.
16 draws. So the highest is 18 draws and Sheffield United in 93-94 got relegated with that, whereas Southampton finished 10th. So you can finish absolutely anywhere. So thanks for this, Joe. It's actually quite interesting. Like, teams have finished... Chelsea finished 3rd in 98-99 with the most draws. 15.
Mad.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's crazy, yeah.
I think I don't know if he's got it at the bottom. No, he hasn't. I mean, you can see what the average position that you'll finish. You're probably going to be mid-table. But if you can win the draw league, you're probably going to stay up. Because there's only, over the season, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, 17, you're fine, aren't you?
Yeah.
4 times the team's gone down in the 30-year history of the Premier League if you can win the draw table.
And average position was 11th. 11.6.
Yeah. Average position. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Yeah, so you're going to finish about 11th if you can have the most amount of draws generally. And also, it looks like the magic number for draws, if you want to be champion this year, is 14. 14.575 if you want to be the champion. Last season it was Palace. Brighton 3 years on the trot prior to that.
Unbelievable. Never heard of it. You will never see such a thing again.
Yeah, such utter dominance.
Yeah.
I think Southampton seem to have won it a lot. Who's won it the most? Villa won it a few years. Yeah, love this. Thought it was really interesting. Thank you, Joe. Right, I promised fan fiction, didn't I? So let's finish with that. Actually, I'll give you just a quick Samism as well. This is from Dan Neal. Oh, so he got caught in a Samism spiral, I think. So the other day at work, I referred to something sly that my colleague did as snakes and daggers.
Nice.
Which I can only assume was a swap between the popular board game Snakes and Ladders. Almost immediately, I noticed my mistake, which is a horrible moment. You know, when it happens on camera, I remember you famously retrieved the situation superbly on the overlap, but you knew in that moment that you'd done a cheeky Samism.
Done it.
I noticed my mistake and embarrassed, I quickly changed my previous statement to smoke and daggers. I realised this was also wrong, and I was now panicking. A sweat beat ran down my forehead as I could feel my face becoming warmer than normal. I quickly took to Google to find out the saying that I had previously intended on, realising what I meant was smoke and mirrors.
And cloak and daggers.
Or, of course, I could have gone with cloak and daggers. Not my finest hour. Hang in there, Dan. Hope you're okay.
Snakes and daggers, though, when you're talking about something a bit sly, doesn't make complete sense. You can understand why you forgive yourself.
Yeah. Got to be kind with the Samisms, that's it. It's true. It's not a place of shame, Samism. It's a place of laughter and joy. And self-awareness. Let's finish off with that fan fiction. Sort of drifting. So this is Cameron Wright. Interesting. Unless this actually happened, I'm not sure. We'll finish on this. So Flav, can I just say well done?
Cheers.
Give Flav some love. He's got bloody COVID. Look at him hanging in there like an absolute trooper.
Do you know what's so much fucking worse than I thought it was?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been lucky, but I just have these sort of coughs, the tickly coughs, but you seem to be getting...
It's my own fault. When I went to the wedding, I just did everything success. I had like 3 hours sleep in 3 days, and I just fucked my immune system, and then it got me. So I can't complain. It's just grim, but
we can only move forwards, Flav. Well done. Well done, bud. This will cheer you up. And might be erotic. Let's find out. Bit of fan fiction from Cameron Wright. Thanks, Cameron. I was on my way into London via the M3 for Spurs on Saturday, as I felt a hunger pang. I haven't eaten yet today, I told myself.
I know where this is going.
I decided to stop off at the next service station, as it advertised. Just to say that we didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this. He just wrote this in the comments. Okay? It wasn't set up. I decided to stop off at the next service station as it advertised. It was going to be a welcome break. Fabulous. I parked up, and as I was entering the service station, a bearded man holding a very expensive coffee vaped forcefully into my face, causing me to choke and go lightheaded. As I tumbled to the ground, his friend, a baby-faced spectacled chap, who had what appeared to be vomit of a juvenile on his jumper, grinned at me and asked what I was doing here. Dazed but coming round, I calmly stated I was on the way to the football and just wanted some nosh. Again, I didn't ask him to write this.
You wanted some nosh, it's fine. You want some food, it's fine.
I explained, calmly stated I was on the way to the football. I just wanted some nosh. In a flash, their expressions changed from laughter to a deep sense of menace. They abruptly turned to each other, and with a wry smirk and a nod, offered that they have plenty of nosh here, and that I have come to the right place. This is where the best nosh in the country is, they said. I presume at the same time, together. They ushered me away from the main building towards the direction of the rear of the shops. I thought this was strange. So I turned round and they bellowed, "Only forwards!" at me, and they grabbed me to continue. Still coming round for my coffee-stench nicotine debacle at the door, I continued to follow. What's the worst that could happen? I told myself. After a short walk, we arrived to a secluded alleyway between restaurants. The nicotine had worn off now, and out of the corner of my eye, I glanced at the exit sign. Thank you.
Shut up! Hey! Sorry, I've got to check this out. Sorry, I interrupted the story.
Interesting. Quite the cliffhanger.
Nothing there. Okay. Stop.
I think Frank's not feeling it.
Barking at
He probably heard this. He's hearing the story and he doesn't like where this is going.
He's barking at nothing. He's looking out the window. There's nothing there.
Probably a ghost.
Probably, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Nicotine debacle.
Yes. The nicotine had worn off now, and out of the corner of my eye, I glanced at the exit sign. Thank you for coming to Fleet Services. My heart sank, and a bottomless pit sprung in my stomach. I knew these men. I knew my fate. My time in my thoughts was brief, as I was shunted back to grave reality as the men joined hands, volleyed me to the ground and told me to put this napkin in my collar. It's time to become a moisty.
What is going on?
Needless to say, I did not relieve my hunger at this service station, and I will forever be haunted by the faces of these men. Worst day of my life. Don't support these guys.
It's so strange.
See you next week.